It's Kelly. And pardon me while I get the camera adjusted so that you're not looking at everything all crooked. This is the hardest part about going on YouTube, just so you know, or videoing anything. Okay. So there we go. I'm going to try to get the chat up here. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. I really need to clean my mat for you because it's not looking so pretty. It's definitely looking pretty. Okay. So tonight I am going to work with these two photos. One of them for sure. I think both of them, but we'll see. So these are photos of me at my scrapbook crop back in October. And I often take a photo like this where I have a glass of wine on my desk later at night and a scrapbook layout out there. And then I took another one. I think I took one. This is the first night, and this is actually the second night because I forgot to add my wine glass into this one. I don't love the reflection in this photo, and there's a lot of white space here, so I may decide not to use that photo. But we will see. I might do it anyway. I want to just make an adjustment here with my camera just to see if that helps a little bit. Yeah, that did not help. That actually did the other thing. Okay, so sorry to make you guys dizzy. I'm going to drop my camera just a little bit. Again, this is the hardest part. So, okay. And now you get to see like my sweater and stuff. Okay. All right. So that gives a couple of you time to get on and come on. So anyway, I like this photo. It looks good. It's kind of my setup. These are the baskets I use on my desk with all my embellishments in it. And then I took this photo, but it's not a great photo because of all that white space there. But maybe I could do something with an embellishment up there. Because I'm thinking I could make them like sit like this. Now, I have my Best of Both Worlds November kit, which is the kit that Shamel does with scrapbook.com. And you can either buy the product or use it as a guide or mix it, which is what I did this time. Some of this I have is my own, and some of it is things that I did buy from the kit. I have had, these are from Shamel, these little wood rulers. I've had these for ages. I wonder if it says how old these are. 2014. Yeah, 6 years. 6 years, guys. I believe these are from her original. This is her original collection. And I think this might be, well, I might have a few scraps of paper from that because I don't like to I don't like to throw anything out. Say hi, Tammy. You made me laugh because Tammy said you're on and I'm here too. So that's awesome. Anyway, so I'd really like to use some of these. Now there's a floral one. There's one with like tea and coffee mugs. And then there's this one that says lovely. And I'm going to pull this lovely one out. I've tried to use this before, but I haven't. So it's time. I want to use this up. And this was a lovely time. So I'm thinking that maybe I can use that as part of an embellishment cluster or something. And then, so this is my paper and all of that from Best of Both Worlds. These are my scraps. So I'm going to kind of take this stuff and then some just pieces from, this is from Paige Evans. There's this gorgeous piece of vellum from Maggie Holmes' Sweet Story, but I think I'm going to put off using that. Shamel did use this today in her video. What I'm thinking is I want to dig in. There's some Bella Boulevard here. This is a gorgeous Pink Fresh collection that I really need to use with something, but I don't think this is the layout that I want to use it with. Like I love this piece of paper. Love, love, love that paper. And, you know, I could use it with that one behind it or anyway, it's so So, so pretty. And then it works great with these Bella Boulevard papers. But what I'm thinking is I have a lot of Vicki Boutin. So this is more of that Pink Fresh collection. I have a lot of the new Vicki Boutin Storyteller collection. And I thought I would just kind of take a look and see what I have in this collection. Now, right away, this piece of paper kind of strikes me as something I could use because it works with the green and the orange here. There is this gorgeous piece of book paper that I'm sure I have a photo of my great-nephew reading a book. I do love this piece of paper here as well, but there's no orange in that. So I might kind of save that. The 4x6 cards. Ooh, this is pretty too. Get that gorgeous paper. This is the Hey Honey paper. This green, just in case I don't use it. Oh, this green is the back of that stripe. This is the sequence paper. Sequence, as in a line of things, versus sequins, which we love to use, or don't love to use, depending on who you are. Okay. So there's that paper with these gorgeous leaves. That could be kind of cool. And it was autumn when I was there. Now the other thing I'm thinking is if this turns out to be too light, I could always ink this too with a little bit of darker ink. So that could be kind of cool, something to border that with. I was thinking orange. You know, there's some orange in this paper. I don't know what I have left for, oh, okay, This says, document it, tell your story, good times, awesome. That is calling out to be used on this page, right? How could I not use that somehow? And I think it would be neat. Let's see, the only thing is that this would be very boring as it is right now, because it would be this and this. And what I'm thinking is that I would do something like this. Oops. There, like, there we go. Like that, somehow. But that's really boring, so I need something else. And I was thinking quickly, I thought, well, maybe I could pop this behind there, which I could do for a little bit of color. That's an option, but let's see what else we have in here. There's a nice grid paper there. This is a piece of paper with all sorts of tags and this would be a good cut apart for me to use with this one. And then I could use like one of these pieces, cut it apart and use it as the border. These nice little admit one tags and then lots of little tags here. So this is a good thing. I also have lots of ephemera from the collection, so I'll show you that. I'm not going to be short on things I could use. So there's this. I love this piece, but I really, really love that piece that's like document, tell your story. All right, so this is other stuff like Amy Tangerine. There's some Doodlebug. That stuff is not going to really work with this particular collection. I do, now that I think about it as well, have this lovely scrap here. I'm going to take all those other pieces away that I showed you before. So that could maybe work as well, kind of blending in here. I like how this kind of pops off here. I still think I need something up here to hide that. And what I could do also is just separate the photographs a little bit here. Maybe put a tag where that goes, and then maybe line it with a piece of this paper. You know, this is okay, but I also have, just so you know, I have the paper pad from Storyteller, so I'm just going to take a quick flip through here just to see if there's anything else. Now there is orange here that I could use, but maybe not. I think I'm starting to get a feel for what I want to do with this. That's an awesome pattern. Some of these are crazy patterns. And the cool thing about, by the way, in case you're not noticing this, with the Storyteller paper pad, is that it is two-sided. So there is this beautiful orange piece here. Let's see what we think. And I figured this was going to happen once I started thinking about this. So let's see that on there, how those two photographs look on there. And they look fine, right? I'll separate them a little bit. They look fine. But look at what happens when you put them on here, especially this photograph. Don't they just pop? I mean, they're like, whoa, right in your face. So the reason that is because this is orange. This aqua color is very blue based, and blue and orange are opposite each other on the color wheel. So they provide really high contrast. That's why it looks fantastic on this and looks kind of like, okay, well, that's nice. I mean, it's okay. It's fine. But it looks really, really good on that. And, you know, if you wanted to do something more like this, where if you wanted to pick up on that orange, you could do something more like that, if you wanted to bring the orange in. But it's funny, as I was thinking about the orange, I thought, oh, you know what? That may not look so good on the orange because of this. All right, so I think I'm getting a good feel for what I need to do. I'm going to put the 12 by 12 pad away. But just so you know, that's kind of a cool thing. The weight of these is also really, really nice. That's the other thing. And I grabbed some thickers here too, from Let's Wander, just for a little extra dimension. But I have, so I should show you this. I have the Storyteller Tag journal pieces. So if I want to use those, there's lots of pieces in here. I have this massive pack of embellishments here, and I do mean massive because the embellishments are massive. There are quite a few pieces here, 40 pieces, but the pieces are huge. And then this is the, let's see, they both say embellishments, but they are two different packs of embellishments. So this is more like leaves and flowers and that kind of stuff. Making Today Count would be a good one for me to use there. So, all right, but let's get working on this as it is right now. I really want to get that lovely in there, and I think I will put this in there and add that second photo in here, just kind of, and I'm going to use one of my recipes, I guess, where, and I think I've talked about this before, where, and not that long ago actually, where I'm going to do like a third of it or something closer to that in one pattern and then the rest. I want to make sure that I get to see like heart your story, document it. I want to make sure that I can read some of these because that's really important to this story that I'm telling. So I think that's kind of cool. All right, so that is, I should tell you guys this. This is Vicky Boutin Storyteller again. That's the narrative paper. So that's kind of fun. And then I'll just get that aqua paper down. And I'm going to actually cut a mat around it and not use that whole piece of aqua because I think I'd like to put this green down. But then the question is, so if I do this green, I do think I need this piece behind it. And I think it'll help for getting color because there's some gold in here and some greens. And I think on this one, just a very, very thin border. Here. Now, this Vicky Boutin paper is really distressed compared to a lot of the collections I tend to use now. You know, this harkens back to, I don't know, about 10 years or so ago. I love it though. You know, back to like where basic gray and when My Mind's Eye was first around, that kind of stuff. But she has such a great aesthetic and just, she does just beautiful pattern. If you're a person who doesn't like to get messy like me, I also like Vicky because she does some of that for you already. Okay, so now what I'm looking at is I really, if I'm going to cut this, want to cut it so that I can see an entire row of these words. which means about that much of this pattern will be sticking up, and I'm not sure I like that. So let's see what happens if I do this. I get it right to the end. All right, so I'm going to cut it so that I have the wider frame, and if I don't like it once it's cut, I can always cut more. So I'm going to do the finger measuring trick, like trim at the end of where my finger is. Oh, and now that I think about it, I had talked, okay, yeah, I think I like that. So this, let me just give you an idea of what this is, because it is wider. Typically, I would cut that top piece about probably 4 or 4.5 inches. Well, this is interesting. So I'm showing that this is 6 inches. It is. Normally, I do not like layouts that are like half and half layouts, but I am liking this one. I still can't believe that that's 6 inches, but let's see. Yeah, it is. Interesting. So then I had talked about maybe using one of these sort of label-y pieces, and I'm thinking this one with a little bit of orange and that little aqua tab there. I'm going to get it on my trimmer so that I trim it actually evenly. That's the one I'm thinking anyway. So let's see how this works and looks. Okay, so then I can kind of pop that on the edge there. Now I wanted a whole row and it's not coming out that way, is it? This might be a little bit too distracting. I'm not loving that little bit of brown above. So let's see. I'm going to try to cut a straight line to the black here. So fussy cutting, hint, move the paper, not the scissors. You can make it even easier for yourself by tucking your elbow and your cutting hand right into your side. And that usually makes it a little bit easier too. Okay. I don't know, you guys. I don't like the way that's breaking that up. Okay, so I don't think that's going to work. Let me look and see if I have anything else that I think I can use. Now I could also go back and grab that stripe on the back. I'm grabbing the border strips that I've used from this collection already. Okay, not a lot of pop there yet. And then I love this daisy one, but that feels summery to me. And this is definitely not a summery layout. I do have some really cool, this is from Amy Tangerine's Late Afternoon collection. Okay, so far I really like that one a lot. And then if I use a strip that thin, I will be able to get most of this word here. Okay, so let's glue this down because I think I have a good arrangement to start with. How about that? Okay, so you're getting my kind of messy hair. All right, there we go. Now, the one thing I noticed is that I do have a little piece of the paper that this was attached to, because when I'm cutting my border strips, I'm less concerned that if there's a little bit of that paper left, but it makes it harder if I'm using it this way. Oh, and I almost forgot about the fact that I want to get that lovely in. All right, now then what I'm going to do, this may seem kind of crazy, but I'm going to put the green here so that your eye moves to the color. See, and I want something up there. but I'm afraid if I do a cluster up there, it's going to look not right because I have this piece here, and I'm thinking I'd like to put something up there, and I'm not sure that lovely is going to look right. If I can't use this, I'm going to like think, another time. All right, let's see. What should I do for a journaling piece here for some sort of tag? I think I'm going to grab the yellow one just so that I get a bright tag. And I didn't tell you what this paper was. This is the plot paper, in case you're looking for storyteller specifically. Oh, that's cool, Tammy. Yeah, it is beautiful, isn't it? I actually still have a little bit of kaleidoscope here and there because I think I ended up with 2 12 by 12 pads at one point. I think I bought them, like had one, and then I bought another one at Tuesday morning, and I'm still using some of the ephemera from that collection. So, well, that's cool. Hopefully that gives you a couple of ideas on how to use things too, or just gets you excited to use it. All right, so I'm just going to take my hole punch and punch a hole here. Now my idea was that I was going to journal on these. So if I use something really bright, that's going to make it hard to do that. What's happening here is I think the tag is fighting this down here a bit. So we'll see. I'm going to try this one. Otherwise, I might take that off and just maybe go to washi tape too. I have plenty of washi tape. I do kind of like the peachy color and the yellow together there, but then I think this doesn't work so well anymore. Yeah, the yellow is I think it's a little off for me. I'm being probably a little bit picky there, but that's life. Okay, now I think part of the problem I'm having with this is very light and the rest of this is not. So I have this is already inked up with my vintage photo ink, and you see what a difference that's making already. And I probably should have come in that way so that I don't land. I'm using the old, definitely the old rectangular Tim Holtz, but I have a bunch of these, so I'm not getting rid of this. It's making Lovely a little bit harder to read, but I think that makes a huge difference. Trying it again just to see. I think what is happening here is I'm not seeing a lot of that navy, and the extra colors are a little much for me. That's what I'm thinking. And now that I've done that with that, these tags are saying, ink me. It's like the Scrappers version of Alice in Wonderland's Drink Me. Which now means this edge is going to get covered up, I'm pretty sure. But that means all of these edges, of course, need to be inked. Fortunately, my Distress ink sits right in a drawer, right to my left hand. Been scrapping long enough that I know what I use often, and it sits close. That's why these baskets sit just here. As I'm pointing, it's literally right there on the other end, and then there's another one right here at the end of my, it's hard to see my arm, but it's at the end of my arm there. Because that has my embellishments, it has all my tiny letter stickers, it's the stuff I use the absolute most. And then my enamel dots, as you guys well know, because I like to shake the camera when I forget to grab them, sit right in front of me. So I don't have to get up. No, I mean, not that I wouldn't. My die cuts, I have so many now, unfortunately, they are back on a shelf. Oh, thanks, Barbara. All right. So those are not quite as handy as they used to be. And I can tell you just looking at this already that I like this a little bit better here. Just thinking, do I want to cut that down a little bit? I think it's okay. I'll just do that. Okay, now I'm going to go and see if I can find a color of washi tape that I think I will like with this. And goodness knows I have some washi tape in this little file o' mine. Just looking to see. There's that nice little green leaf. So it was fall. There's that kind of cool leaf. Maybe I'll do a leaf. I don't have. I have this nice orange, but I think that's too close to that color of that lovely. Let's see, will we like this? This is from American Crafts. I think this was in a big pack of stuff I bought, and I don't think I've honestly ever used this, which is a shame because it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I kind of like that. Has some of the colors, has flowers. Let's see. The advantage of this green is that, oh, Tammy, just do it. Seriously. So definitely, if you're going to ink edges, you can do direct to paper technique, which is when you take the ink pad and you rub it right along the edges. But if you're starting out and doing it, this one is a Tim Holtz one, but you can get the rounded versions now. Scrapbook.com also has these ink applicators as well. And then you just, and get a bunch of pads because, so I have, my most used colors are obviously my gray flannel and this vintage photo, but I have a black one that sit right into my desk, but I also have other inks like navies and that kind of stuff where I have them too. So get one for your browns, that kind of a thing. And then you just attach it to the pad, you pounce it on the pad, okay? Is the way I do it. Get that inked up. And then what I do is I just hit it on the edge. That's all I do. Just kind of lightly tapping it. But if you do it this way, if you start out with it on the pad, it's much more forgiving because otherwise you can get, sometimes you'll get unevenness where you first apply it, but this is a nice way to do it. Oh, that's a good idea. Yep, exactly. It gives you a little bit more control. I've been doing this for a long time. And my stroke when I ink tends to just be kind of down on the edge of the paper. The other thing you can do if you want to do it, I've done this too when I don't want to apply as much, is I just pounce it on the edge. That's a way for you to just kind of start and maybe give yourself, just get a little bit of a shadow. And remember, you're kind of creating a shadow. That's all. And then start with some really basic colors. So I have my Memento Dewdrop in gray flannel. Black is nice. It's a little bit less forgiving because it's darker. And then this is the ink that Shamel uses as well when she does brown. So that's Tim Holtz vintage photo. It's a really nice brown. But and if nothing else, grab some scraps and just practice a little bit to see what that looks like to you. And honestly, when you get it down on the paper, you don't really see the edges of it. The other thing I can tell you too is a collection like Vicky Bouton would be a great place to start inking because it's already distressed looking. So if you get it a little off, it's okay because the whole collection is inked looking. So that would be another tip, but love it. And then the other thing that's really nice is, I think I've talked about this many times, is that when you are inking, when you're working with a collection, if you have more than one collection of paper, it brings it all together. So if I'm, using, let's say I was using some Vicki Boutin and some Maggie Holmes, which I think of as both distressed, it'll pull those together. But even without that, it puts a really nice shadow. And when you're, one of the reasons these tags were yelling ink me was because I cut them. And anytime you cut paper, or most times, you get kind of a white edge to it. And on a collection like this Vicki Boutin collection, which you said you had, you can see the edges. And here's a great example. So you can see kind of the edges of where I punched that paper, where it's kind of white. I'm hoping you can see that there. You can see that a little bit better. So if I just take my pad, don't try this to start out with if you're not used to this, because part of it is learning a little bit of control and what you can do with them. And sometimes it doesn't work out even when you know what that is. But now see how that has a little edge, how that has a little darkness to that edge. It's not quite so disturbing. This one still kind of is. But that's another reason that you ink it, is it really gives you, it gets rid of that white kind of halo that you would normally see. So I say go for it. Grab some scraps and just start playing around. Make a card for somebody maybe, and also don't be extra critical of yourself because it's messy. It's supposed to be a little bit, it's not supposed to be perfect. How about that? That's hard to remember for us. I know, because I'm guilty of that myself. All right, so I'm just trying to play with a few little colors here to see. I actually like this one the best, so we're going to use this one, I think. And I'm going to actually put it right on the edge of that paper. So, okay, cool. You'll have to tell us when you start inking. That's so cool. And I was teasing you, by the way, about, oh my gosh, you have to ink, you have to ink. You don't have to ink if you don't want to. I don't do a lot of mixed media, so I should be want to talk. So I like this because it's kind of got a goldy brown in there. Moira, hello. Our friend Moira has joined us. Poor Moira's bad YouTube wasn't giving her notifications. So, all right. So I think we're going to do that. Now the question is, am I going to grab this so that it kind of drops onto that? I think I'm going to pull it up a little bit. And then maybe use, like I said, I have chipboard here. There's one here that says, let's drink. There's one that also says, let's eat and let's shop. But, yeah. Let's drink just sounds so right for this particular thing. Now, it is in pink, so I'm not sure that that'll work. There's also a chipboard piece here that says Weekend Getaway. We'll see, because that is very bright pink. But if I use this Let's Drink, then I would get some pink going across. I also love this floral piece right here. Oh my gosh, I love that. Just going to see if I can make this work. It's hard because, although what I could do is I could cut those leaves off and make it work here somehow. It is my page, right? All right, we're going to do it. Look at this. I'm being brave. I'm just going to cut that right there. And then, and I could use those leaves again on here somewhere if I wanted to, because there are florals in this. Again, this isn't Storyteller. This is Let's Wander, which I think was her collection before this one. So now I'm inking chipboard. Here's the other thing, Tammy, that you should know is there's lots of different kinds of ink. And if you use regular dye inks, they will come off. They won't stay on, maybe this needs to go up here like this. They won't stay completely on there because it's a slick surface. So just know that as well, that I wouldn't start by inking on slick surfaces either. Okay, so I'm going to make sure we have some room here. I'm still not sure about this weekend getaway piece up here, so I'm going to take that off, but I think I have a good idea of where this needs to go now. I wasn't gluing this down because I wanted to make sure that I had kind of an idea of where this was all going to really go. Okay. So then, oh, those sassy tags don't want to stay where they are. Add a little bit. That. Okay, so that didn't quite work the way I had hoped. So tomorrow, you guys, it's Cricut and present making day for me. I'm making these darling little t-shirts for my 4 grandkids that say, "Dear Santa, they're the naughty ones." And it has arrows pointing to both sides, so each one of them is going to get one. I think it's very funny. Actually, it's not their Christmas present. It's just, I found it last year after Christmas, and I just thought it was so cute and so clever, considering there are 4 of them. I'm going to adjust this one again. And my stepson tested positive for coronavirus for the 2nd time earlier this week. So I was actually supposed to have the kids this weekend. Obviously, I'm not. But the good news is they are nowhere near as sick as they were when they had it in March. But they're still sick. So, because my daughter-in-law is also sick. We think that my oldest grandson brought it home from school because his teacher had it. So, anyway, for them, I will get some grandma time with those kids yet. And actually, Mama and Daddy aren't too happy about it either, of course, because they were, well, Daddy was going to go deer hunting, and Grandma was going to take the kids, the 3 oldest kids, from Mama, so she could have a little bit of time to herself. So, yikes. And they're being so good. I mean, this is one of those things, this virus is so crazy because they're not going anywhere, and yet, you know, the kids went to school, and there you go. All right. And, you know, I'm covering up part of this, but the pictures itself are not what's important about this layout. It's just that I was scrapbooking here. So now here's the other thing that I've done to myself. I've got wood on here. I don't have any more wood out planned for this layout, but I'm going to need to do that, or that's going to look kind of weird all by itself. So I have to think about what we're going to do about that. Just going to get a couple of these little, I have little pieces left here, so I'm going to just keep tucking them under here. Okay. All right. So far, so good. Now, I do want to preserve that documented, but I think I need something else. I'm going to just have a little peek at some wood veneer. I have all this LA Studio wood veneer. So let's see what I can come up with, if I can come up with anything from here to go on this. Oops, stars, hearts, pennants. Hey, Harmony, good to see you. So did you guys catch last weekend I did my prep for my December dailies, so that's out. There's a live video because those of you who are here got to ask questions. And then since you're here, I'll give you a little preview. My cover's going up tomorrow morning, so you will see the cover next. I'm thinking about a camera on here, maybe. There is a cute piece that says my favorite place, and this is one of my favorite places. Ooh, this is my happy place would be really good because this is my happy place. This is my happy place. Let's drink. Oh, I took that pink off of there. I don't think I'm going to do that up there. So maybe that, I don't need to do that quite so much. Again, I want to make sure that I can read that documented. So I like that idea. Now this is a house that we go to. So maybe we need to do something like that. And I can just grab a piece of, yeah, because then I would have, I have wood going across. I'm going to ink this as well too, just to get that darker so it blends in a little bit more with my lovely there. And yay, we used a piece from 2014, right? And then I just want to grab a scrap of anything that will go with this collection. I'm going to just use this. Oh, actually, maybe I should use the yellow. Nope, the yellow won't show up. I'll use the navy. Just want to use a piece so that the heart, okay, it would help if I cut it big enough though for the heart. Just so that I'm not seeing layers of paper behind there. Some people that, I mean, if you don't mind that, that's fine, but it annoys me, so. To be honest. Hey, Tula. Who else is? Come on. I did not see you pop up. I'm being really bad about watching my chat tonight. Sorry, guys. Just know that I'm seeing you now. And thanks for joining me. It's been a rough afternoon here. The news probably hasn't hit those of you who don't live in Wisconsin, but I live about an hour from the Milwaukee area, and there was a shooting at one of the malls here this afternoon, and there were, I think, about 8 people wounded. Nobody has died, so that's good. But I got home. I hadn't been home very long, and they broke in. I was just gonna read a little bit and come down, and so it's been a tough night. I have lots of friends that live in the area that mall is located in, so it just was not. It's been a tough afternoon here. So, but you know, like I said, the good things so far, it sounds like it's more people who are wounded than anything. So if there's any to be thankful for, that's one of the things to be thankful for. So, okay. As a matter of fact, I've been to that mall, I can't even tell you how many times. So now I'm thinking, what else should we do? There's a butterfly on here. But then I'm covering up my document. So as always, you guys are helping me be helping me smile. How about that? Sometimes you just got to sit down at your scrap desk. This definitely, I talked about this about scrapping through hard times, and gosh knows, I scrapped my way through being unemployed earlier this spring. All 200 and some pages of it. Okay, now the one thing about this collection is these pieces are huge. So what sometimes when this happens, then what I do is, you know, you can take them and you can put them so that they're partially off the page there like that. There we go. That one might be even better because it's light like that. And then we can ink. Although I actually kind of like this color here because I think it pulls in that color there. Now, I just said before something about those daisies that were on one of those pages, and I said we don't need to use those. But what I could do here is, and that's what I think I'm going to do, is grab whatever piece of this I'm going to grab. I'm going to ink these edges just so I don't forget, and maybe just do a little bit of ink on that, my favorite place. And then I could put a piece of that up there, so that then I'm kind of getting a little bit of floral in each spot. We'll see how we think that looks once I get it down. So, I know, Moira, they're so big. Because you can't, it's like, then what do you do for size? You know, there's a whole design principle of pint, quart, gallon. So, you know, a little, you know, little bits of these and a, you know, big bit of this. Well, when you have embellishments like that, it's hard to do pint, quart, gallon. Okay, I may need to cut this again based on, or move this again based on where that lands, but so far so good. Oops. And I did get some of that blue up here with this house, so I might decide I want to add in some more. Down here. It feels a little matchy-matchy there, so the answer I think is that no, I'm not going to do that here. So sometimes I'll save these, sometimes I'll get rid of them. I'm gonna peel back that layer to see what I think about the yellow up there, and I actually kind of like that. Yellow, green. I also have more die cuts from this. I should be looking at the rest of these too before I make any decisions. Oh, I did see that Make Today Count one would have been good. Oh, you guys, I just saw this book in here. For those of you who are readers. Let me think. Oh, that's right. There's 2 collections of ephemera, so I think I like to keep them a little separated. Oh wait, nope, this is all the same. That's okay. Look at this beautiful book. Oh, I need a reading page. I have one coming. I just finished my 60th book of the year today. So that reading page will be coming. I don't want to use this whole flower on just that. Now, I could, of course. Oh my, look at how, I mean, okay, this leaf cluster is as big as my hand. Oh, you're right, Jill. This aren't these crazy? I mean, these things are huge. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Vicki, we love you, but could we have some smaller pieces too? Like, okay, the Making Today Count, that's like the title on your page. Okay, so, if, you know, that's great, but oh my, there really aren't a lot of small things in here. Oh my gosh. Nope, like I thought this was cute. Collect all the memories, and then has this honking enjoy every moment added to it. Oh my goodness. And this butterfly. Hello, that butterfly is as big as my hand again. That's the butterfly you have nightmares about. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, oh, and here's a small book right here. So those are cool. Definitely need to get some book, do I ever sleep? Okay, so Tammy just asked if I ever slept because I have read 60 books. So I have to caveat this with, I did not read any books while I was actually off work, believe it or not. I just couldn't concentrate enough to do it. So I did not. Now here, I'm covering up my Document It, but I think that kind of works because with this, you know what that's saying. Anyway, I didn't do any, but when I drive about 35 minutes to work, that's the kind of butterfly that can carry off a dog. That's awesome. I drive about 35 minutes to work. So I listen to a book every day for a little bit over an hour. And then I'm also reading at the same rate, reading up. So I always have a physical book and an audio book going at the same time. So that's kind of why that worked. Yes, that is the best comment. It's the butterfly that can carry off the dog. Well, I guess that butterfly has to be big because, you know, it's hiding in this bush or tree with these huge leaves. Oh my goodness. I guess I need to challenge myself to use some of these big die cuts one day, don't I? I'll have to think about that someday soon. Okay, well, like, here's some nice butterflies, but they're attached to this honking light bulb. All right. Okay, Vicki, you're mystifying us all. Oh, and because that one light bulb wasn't enough, there's another one on this too. Back to the layout. I did say I could use these leaves somewhere too. Oh, I actually like that. That's where those leaves are going, guys. We still haven't solved this cluster. And I know the leaves are probably supposed to go down. I could see if that'll work. I'll do that, see if that'll work. Actually, I don't like them as well there because they look kind of funny there. So I think I'm going to put them back and see if I can really make this work. I'll take a look and I'll look at it in the way you guys are looking at it to see what I really think. Yeah, I actually kind of seriously like the way that looks. So that's where they're going. We need a little foam tape now behind this though to support it because we have the chipboard behind it. So now that I have my December daily prep done and my cover done, I'm ready to get rocking and rolling. But I won't do anything until December, probably 1st or 2nd, depending on what's going on. You guys will see the first video on the 3rd. I think I said that. Okay, this purple is nice, but I don't have any purple in there. Do we have any blue? Yes, we have a large blue bird. Not as big as some other things on here, but okay. I think I'm back to this one. Oh wait, no, I liked this one, right? But what I'm thinking with this is I'm going to want to tuck it somehow. So what does that mean? Like if I tuck it, it would probably be this part of the flower that I would be not using. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to just cut off a little piece like that. I've done that with all the Maggie Holmes flowers. She has great flowers. If you guys are new to scrapbooking and haven't seen many of her pieces, her flowers are awesome. I almost feel like this needs more ink to it too. There we go. Needed a little bit more definition. Okay, I still need something up there. Let's see. Oh, I was talking about this admit one ticket, wasn't I, at one point? All right, I don't have any purple on here, but we're going to try it because that might be able to go up. You guys, I was supposed to do a scrapbook retreat. I don't know if I said this already. The second weekend in December. That was going to be one of the reasons I wasn't going to be able to do December daily every day. And I am not going to do it. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to lose the money, but I'm going to go see my mom, and it won't be 2 weeks from that retreat to when I'm going to see my mom. So I think that that's just not smart. So anyway, hey, Brenda, good to see you. So that makes me a little sad, but what I've decided to do is I'm still going to take the time off and I'm going to scrapbook at home. instead, I'll just pretend like I'm at the scrapbook retreat. Hopefully I will ignore any housework that needs to happen and all that kind of stuff, and I'll just binge watch Netflix and scrapbook away. Okay. Yeah, I like that better than that little piece of flour. But that now means I'm going to want to put that color somewhere else. So we'll see how that's going to work. And it's up by that red wine. Which, does everybody have their beverage? You don't often see this when I'm scrapbooking because I'm afraid of, but I do have a glass of wine here. So that was dangerous, wasn't it? Oftentimes I don't actually drink it till I'm done with the video. Yeah. Oh, here's one that says, can't wait to go back. So true. See if I can lift this layer up. There's plenty of room here. Totally doing that because that brings in navy, navy. We need a little navy here. And I'm thinking it's too bad I cut up that navy leaf, but just gonna try, I'm gonna just fussy cut a little bit of this leaf here. Wine and scrapbooking do go well together. That's a relaxation thing for me for sure. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this leaf a little bit and see, it'll help me get an idea if I think this might work at all, because I do have other leaves that I could cut if I wanted to. They're big though, but I could always take that, well, I don't know if I want to take that one out though. I'm covering up my D, guys. Okay. Maybe now that I have this other piece, this can go below here or something. I'm trying a little too hard to get that blue in there. It's really, even if I ink this, it's a little hard to see it because it's so dark. All right, Brenda and Tulu, how do you know each other? And I think I said Tula before, didn't I, Tulu? Sorry about that. How do you two know each other? Since you were very excited to see each other, that's awesome. I love Scrappy community. Okay, so I like that, but now maybe that. I think you can still get that says document, right? All right, let's see. This poor My Happy Place has been everywhere on this bottom part of this layout, but that's okay. Just trying to get this to rotate enough so that it doesn't look really strange because I have like a little bit of that leaf sticking out there, and I think I might just have to. Okay, there we go. There. I think I like that, the way that turned out. So I only have that purple up there though. So I have the blue down here. That purple is up there. Where's my... Oh, here's butterfly kisses from a butterfly that's big enough to carry off your dog. Oh, that's sweet too. That's so sweet. Moira, you are awesome and super well known in this community, and we all love you. Just in case you hadn't figured that out, by the way. If any of you don't know Moira or know of Moira, she's super supportive within this community. And I remember her encouraging me a few years ago, whatever that year was, like 2016 maybe, when I first started. And she does beautiful work. And check out Moira's YouTube channel too. Now I'm really going to cover that D. There's no help in it though. I need a little bit of this color in there. So, and then what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'll grab maybe some more off of this piece right here or up here if I think I need it. I will say that we really do have an amazing, awesome community. As a matter of fact, for those of you who know who Liz Karchner is, she just lost her husband, he's 40, so pretty young. And there's a thing going on over at there on Instagram right now, and it's called Christmas. I think it's called At Christmas with the Karchners. Go follow that because it's a bunch of really well-known scrapbookers, and it's going to be an online auction. So there's an opportunity, just speaking of our community, to support the family. So what about making this flower a little smaller? I could. I'd be afraid that I'd lose this. And you know what? So I was just reading something about this, about how your eye reads. You can be missing letters or move them around. And it kind of, your eye fills it in. So I think your eye is filling the D in for document. Brenda, are you on Redefine Creative? Because I think Christina was just talking about you and your wrestling layouts, wasn't she? Now that I think about it. She mentioned wrestling layouts, and I thought it was a Brenda. I have not reached that point yet. Oh, that's cool. Well, yay. That's a nice shout out to have. I have not reached that point with my grandkids yet where I've had to do a lot of sporting things. They're too young. Okay, I think this is where this is going to go, is up on the top there. One of my grandsons played soccer last year, and then this year he played just a little bit of baseball. He tried that for the first time. So I haven't had to do you have a lot of layouts of events and that kind of thing yet. All right, there we go. Okay, I think that's looking pretty, yeah, I actually really like the advent of the, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think it really does that you see it. So I'm just afraid that if I cut this down and move it over, that I'd lose this yellow bit of the flower, and I kind of like that because of the yellow up here. And it's okay. The awesome is on there, and I say awesome all the time, so that's pretty cool that that's on there as well. Since this is actually going in my book for a change, right? We still need twine up here and maybe some enamel dots. where do I get most of my scrapbooking supplies? So, sadly, my favorite LSS closed, local scrapbook store, by the way, guys, in case you're new, closed, hold on a second, grabbing twine, closed last year, and it just, broke my heart. They had such good product. So now tend to buy my supplies from either a Cherry on Top or scrapbook.com. So, but I don't like it because you can't feel it, right? There is one small scrapbook store not too far from where I work, but they have had nothing new in probably 6 months, which that scares me. So, oh, Brenda. The other place I do buy stuff is from Paper Issues. If you buy from Paper Issues, they always have a 20% off coupon. So check them out on Facebook or YouTube, because you'll be able to get the code. But they'll show the code up on their Facebook page. That's a good one. A Cherry on Top has, you can earn discount points. And I think when you get to 1,000 points, you get $5 off. Like I just did an order for some buffalo check paper because my grandkids and stepkids just did a photo shoot and they're all wearing buffalo check. And I didn't have any, and I decided I wanted some. So I just ordered it, and like I paid nothing for it, really, because I had 2 $5 rewards. So that's a good place. And scrapbook.com does do things on sale as well. And every so often they'll throw up a sale. So that's kind of nice. I know a Cherry on Top often does free shipping if you spend, I think, $49 or more too. So that'll be helpful if you're having to online order. So this is pink, just so you know, because that's the closest I had to peach. So that's sad because I used to have 4 scrapbook stores when I first started. I've been scrapbooking since 2003, pretty intensely, like you see me doing it now, since about 2007. So that was back in the day where we had a lot of scrapbook stores hanging out. Okay. So I think I like the way that looks. I'm still trying to find it. There we go. And I am not going to put a title on this, because I think I'll do my favorite place or something generic with this. Can't wait to go back. Lovely. So, oh, it's Brenda that said or Barbara who said that her kids' sports days are over. So, yeah, that must be a really hard kind of transition. Thank you, Tulu. I do have 2 nephews, and you guys have met the children of one of them. You're very soon going to meet a child of the other one, because that baby is due on the 28th of the month. But I remember when they were graduating and, you know, we were saying goodbye to their activities. So I'm thinking about adding some of this blue in here. Let's see how this looks. So thank you. I really like how it turned out, considering I had 0 plan. Okay, not sure that this is the right blue for this. Let's see if I've got some navy something. I might have some navy pearls. All right, sorry guys, it might hit you. Because, you know, you think, I have to do this every week. You think I could remember to take out my enamel dots. I'm looking for more of an actual navy. I don't know if I have it. That's close-ish. And now they're all organized, so I can easily find them. Like all my blue is all together. That's a little bit better. This goes with the big butterflies. The butterflies that carry you away. Now you have enamel dots that you can put on the page with them. I'm looking because I thought I had, maybe I only have, let's see. Thought that I had some navy, but I don't. Maybe some pearls though. Let's see if I like that, because I think the only ones I might be willing to use are these. I can tuck them. Is anything else? Well, although, if I mean, look at this. That thing is huge. Yeah, that's too big. I don't know what I'll use those for, but let me see if I can maybe tuck one. All right. Here's where we try to use up some of these honkin' enamel dots. I don't want it right opposite it here. And I don't think I know I didn't. I never did use them for coasters. You are awesome tonight. Just saying. You can come back anytime you want because you're making us all laugh. Not that you wouldn't be able to anyway. Oh my goodness. I didn't glue down my blue leaf here. I mean, they are huge. Oh my goodness. And I do know about these crazy Bella Boulevard. Those are not all going up there. Okay. See, we're all laughing. And honestly, we all could use a little bit of that. Okay, now that I have this glued down, I can go back to putting this one down here. Well, what do you think? Can I get one more on here? Maybe if one of these is hiding. If I tuck. Okay, except I'm looking at this and it looks like blue enamel dots threw up on my layout. Seriously. Okay. I'm going to take some of these off and see if that helps the situation. Otherwise, they're all coming off. Oh, that's cool. So Scrapbook Superstation in Butler, Pennsylvania will FaceTime shop with you. That's awesome. That is a very cool thing to know. I want to go to Butler, Pennsylvania. Where is that close to anything, Brenda? Anything. Is it close to a bigger city? There's a reason I'm asking that question. Instead of just being nosy. My nephew lives in Philly. And so I do sometimes get to Pennsylvania. And I'm thinking maybe I could sneak a trip in. Okay, I'm liking this a little bit more now that I took the very large, maybe just 2 in each cluster. Yeah, that looks less that like all the enamel dots threw up in my layout. I'm gonna try a smaller one right there. Yeah, okay. Oh, and maybe I could do, I think I've fooled around with this dot more than once here, but I only have one small one left here, so let's use that one up. Oh, that's cool, Barbara. Okay, so Pittsburgh. That is a city in the United States I have not been in that I need to get to. I love Pennsylvania. I think it's a gorgeous state. In some ways, actually, I feel really at home at least, so not, I mean, you know, Philly is Philly, but I've driven through Pennsylvania, the entire width of it. It reminds me, the terrain is very much like lots of Wisconsin. It's beautiful. Okay. Yeah, I would guess that. And especially they would probably mail if you're willing to pay for it. So that is so awesome and cool. And then we get to support a small business because gosh knows they need it. So I do have one scrapbook store that's open besides the one that I was telling you about that's closer to work. There is another one, but they don't do embellishments. They do paper and they do a lot of stamps. And since I already own way more stamps than I probably will ever use, I try not to do that so much. So, all right, you guys, I think I'm done. I love the way it turned out. And it's kind of interesting because of the pictures that are on the photos here, my instinct would be to like use something like a Doodlebug collection or go to my Halloween collection because I'm scrapbooking Halloween photos from last year here. But I didn't. I really wanted to use Storyteller tonight, and I'm very glad I did because I love how it turned out and how I was just pulling in colors and getting to use the honkin' ephemera. So I will have to challenge myself to use this butterfly that is big enough to carry a dog off. And it just would seem fitting that then I could use the leaf there as well. I don't know that I have any photos that would work with this right now, but I will have to check that out and see if I do. So thanks, Moira. Thank you, Tammy. That's nice. Yeah, I'm glad that I was able to do this. So like I said, next week, I should be back next Friday. I'm not going anywhere or doing anything. I go to work and then I come home. And I've been video chatting with friends. Supposed to have dinner with a friend last night, but we just did a video session instead. So that was kind of nice. So, and on Fridays, I go to work. I go get COVID tested just because I'm doing that once a week now for all my clients, just to make sure I'm okay. And then I come home and scrapbook with all of you guys. All right. So I'm loving the way this turned out. It was kind of fun to just do something really different, and just this collection is so gorgeous, you guys. And the nice thing about Vicki, like a lot of designers now, those of us who are scrapbooking long enough, when the designers didn't always match their collection so that you could use the papers all together, but most of them do that now. And Vicki's product always goes really well together, lots of the time. So all right, you guys, thanks for all the compliments. I hope you all have a great weekend. Now, don't forget, I told you, so if you haven't seen it and you're interested in December Daily, finding out what I'm using, maybe seeing, you know, just walking through how I store it, that video went live last weekend, so it should be up there. I do have a December Daily 2020 playlist. That'll make it really easy for you to find it. If you're interested in just kind of getting an idea of how I do December Daily, that kind of stuff, I have playlists with a video every day since 2016, I think, if you want to just get ready for the season. And then tomorrow morning, not only will I have a regular video go live, but my December Daily cover will go live as well at that time too. So it was great scrapping with you guys tonight. Hope you have a great time. Don't forget to do something scrappy yourself. That'll be kind of fun to see what everybody has to do. And Tammy, ink your edges. We want to hear how your edge inking goes. It'll be exciting to hear that from you, and just practice. And remember, it's scrapbooking. It's not perfect. And no matter what happens, honestly, your family's going to think your pages look absolutely wonderful no matter what you think. And that's the important thing, is that the memories are preserved, right? So, all right, you guys, have a lovely evening, everybody. Bye-bye.